didn't do the clap. We did.
Well, but we don't need the clap anymore.
That's not really a movie.
Who really needs the clap? Sorry, Logan.
Go for it.
On this episode, we watch Clown in a Cornfield and review it. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. It's a corn cob,
Oh, I think I went too soon.
Oh.
Dude,
Sounds like a personal problem.
you fucked it up.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Midnight Movie Distillery. Lon is very upset about this, but I'm one of your hosts, Logan Lynch.
I'm another one of your hosts, Mr. Fuck Up.
And I'm the pissed off guy in the Elon Black. What are we doing today? Can you fuck that one up too?
Yeah.
What are we doing
I
today?
can say, well, I mean, if they've watched this, they already know what movie we're watching.
Let's hear it.
Maybe somebody's starting right now.
So,
Jesus Christ.
so we're watching, we watched Clown in a Cornfield, and we're going to be reviewing that. But first, more excitingly, we are going to be talking about some alcoholic beverage. Hopefully not Pisco.
Pisco.
Yeah.
Pisco.
Which is even worse if you think about it.
Lon, what are we drinking?
You know I love you guys, right?
Maybe.
Oh my God.
Oh, Jesus.
I may need to apologize for this one. I'm not sure.
God.
Here's
This is gonna
Zachariah
be bad,
Harris
too.
too.
I've got a bad feeling this has to deal with corn.
It's a clown in a cornfield. Of course it has to deal with corn.
Okay.
I kid you not.
Isn't most perfect.
This actually was recommended to me.
Okay.
And I thought, oh, great. When I saw it at Benny's, I almost cried, but I bought it anyway.
That sounds weird.
That sounds. Oh, I've seen.
Oh my God.
this.
Mellow corn. Wait, where's our camera?
I have
I think
so
it's over here.
seen this.
Mellow corn, straight corn whiskey.
That literally looks like something that in the old days that you'd pour directly into your gas tank.
However,
Comma.
it is bottled in bond
Oh.
and is 100 proof. Go ahead, take
my
a can.
God. Okay. I have seen this before.
It was actually recommended. Somebody said, you know, it's really not that bad. And I thought, okay, is that a recommendation?
Yeah,
Or is that
anything
just
that's really not that bad.
It's like, especially to get it out of our inventory.
But you look at that.
Yeah,
and
but
I'm
the guy
like-
at Benny's that said it.
I looked at that bottle and I thought, is that a $5
But it's got
bottle?
a crest on it.
It's the crest of Moldavia.
Yeah.
Crest or crust? Because that would make a difference.
Yeah.
So,
Heaven Hill
all right,
Distilleries.
don't
Louisville.
drool over it. You're off
Bardstown.
screen. You can't even see you
Oh,
drooling.
I'm sorry.
It literally looks like
crack this.
urine.
Oh,
Yeah.
and by the way,
Twist
twist top.
But it's got finest written on it. Kentucky's finest. That should help, right? Some way.
Oh my God.
Wait, you can't even get it. Can
I'm
you do,
nervous,
Can you do the
fellas.
pop with your thumb after you take it off?
Yeah. Wait, well, all right.
Oh, good.
Okay.
It's probably going to smell like old feet.
Oh my God.
Man,
Right.
What is that?
I don't know.
So it's funny. So like
I'm getting like,
I don't
my
know.
aunt and uncle, they owned a farm growing up, and this may sound like an obvious thing, but they owned a farm growing up, and so obviously they had arable land as well. And whenever you'd get the corn, and they'd dump it in the barns, and you'd
Yeah.
walk in, like that's the smell that you smell. It's like it's not processed corn. It's like it's unprocessed corn,
yeah.
and I don't think that's a good thing.
So, one thing, it is distilled in Kentucky. It is straight corn. It is 100 proof, bottled in bond, which usually is a little bit cleaner of a whiskey flavor, but it is 100% corn.
Yes, like
Nothing else.
You know when Yugo used to sell cars here, when
Give me your glasses.
Yugo had the Yugo 45 and they did a sports version and they called it the 45S. It was still a piece of shit.
Well, that's what the S
That's
stood
what the S stands for. Yeah.
Yeah, not
Oh,
too much.
a little bit heavy.
Yeah.
A little bit
You can
heavy.
get back up for those smaller pours
A
there.
little bit heavy on that one. I should go lighter because we got other whiskeys for the night. So,
Look how much it's in there, Jesus Christ.
yeah, that might be, you could
Yes.
toss that out.
This is really bubbly. It's
This
like
is very
this
light.
this does look
It's
like
bubbly.
urine. Yeah.
So,
This looks
there's a
like-
distiller's thing that if you shake it and how fast the bubbles disperse tells you the higher proof.
Oh wow, that's like malt liquor.
It is 100 though, right? 100 proof.
100 proof.
Hundo. All right, you guys go first.
Fuck
I
you.
can't smell a thing. Is
Actually,
my nose broken?
actually, it's funny. It actually has like an
Yeah.
orange.
Yeah.
It has like a
I
citrus.
can see that. I can see that.
A citrus smell to it.
Yeah, I get a little citrus sting on the nostrils. Uh-oh.
Okay.
Oh. Oh.
I
That's strong.
but I am gonna say it's like it's not as bad as I was expecting it to be.
That almost sounds exactly what my buddy said.
Like when you're driving that Yugo 45S, that S really
It's got a
does
little
give
more punch to
a
it,
little
right?
more punch to it.
It's
If you're going from the 45 to the 45S. Yeah,
Yeah, when you go from like 32 horsepower up to like 38, it's like you feel those extra
Yes,
four.
you do. Nay.
Sorry, 6.
Did you
Could
get a
do-
nose
could do
in there?
math.
Did
Do
you get
what?
a sampling yet? You get any
I got a
taste in
sip so far.
there? Or two
I got
sips,
I got burn.
I got yeah,
Yeah,
well,
it's
100
definitely better.
proof,
That's
man.
not. Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't say an age anywhere on here, does it?
This is more like I feel like what a college party would have.
Yeah, it's like.
Well, that's what you'd think from the label, because you think mellow
And
corn's all
I'm
yellow.
assuming price wise it should
Well,
not have been very.
let's do
Oh, yeah,
our
Yeah,
rating
yeah,
first,
yeah.
Yep,
and
yep.
then we'll talk about price.
We got to
but-
do our
yeah.
barrel
But
ratings.
I do agree. If this was much more than like $20, I think you've been ripped off.
15 will get you 20.
What are you trying to do?
Just trying to get in the camera while so it can be shown. I got one more
Showing.
sip to get in there.
Okay. I am going for a single.
Double.
Single.
Double.
Okay.
1.
2.
3.
Yeah. Logan was the only one who was being nice.
And you actually meant 2.5, not 5.2, right?
Yes.
Good, good. That would suck. If you thought that was a 5.2.
That was a 5.2.
I might have to reconsider this lineup.
I was gonna say I'd have to leave the show.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not good.
It's not good.
But you gave it a 2.5. What's the mercy on that one?
The mercy was I did kind of like the burn a little bit.
Okay.
And then like it was a little bit of the sweetness, kind of the burn with the sweet, kind of reminded me of like maybe
Home.
yeah.
You know,
That time I deep throated a corn cob.
but see, all right, so this is my issue with it, is I've had blends before where, like when they come off the distillery and you taste the beginning, the head is the part you don't want, then you want the body.
Love sexual.
Listen.
Come off and head.
And the
All right,
body
keep
is
going.
what you want. Like,
It's more like come on, the head.
and this one distillery that I visited was, they would always go by and kind of swipe a finger and like, nope, it's still too.
I know he's
Anyway.
too. As long as
It's
he's
not
not like
ready, it's not
shocker.
ready.
Two in the big.
He's like,
It's okay, I got
Sorry.
time.
Go
The
ahead.
body is what you want,
what we really want.
and the tail is not what you want. The tail is when it starts to taste more like cooked corn.
Oh,
Because it's the tail of the distilling process. Things start to burn at the bottom, and you get more corn flavor out of that. I was hoping this would at least have that corn on the cob flavor or something.
I feel like that would have probably been too corny.
Well,
But-
but it has no corn. It has
right.
some weird,
Yeah.
indistinguishable weird. I've
But I
never
get
had
the
100%
sweetness from the
corn
corn.
whiskey before. I've never had it.
But I think it's funny because it's like, to me, even after drinking it, I still smell citrus.
Yeah.
In there.
Yeah.
But it's like I think the reason I gave it 2
Yeah, that
was the
burn's
fact that
tough.
it's like, it doesn't have a lot of other flavor.
No.
I mean, it's like,
See, this is something I think you would bring out at a party when everybody's already drank through most of your shit. And you're like, here, I got something that we can just kind of
yeah.
that'll get people to either throw up or get the fuck out of your house, right?
Well, I mean,
Not that it's just more of like, hey, this is should get you
to what you said before, like to me, it's like this is the malt liquor of the bourbon, world. In other words, it's a I want to drink something that's going to get me drunk.
Yeah.
It's like I don't really care what it tastes like.
Because it's 100 proof.
Right.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
like I can
That's like,
taste
well,
myself.
I didn't have enough money for Everclear, so what's
Yeah.
next?
Yeah, I'm not a fan. This time I actually brought the receipt of how much I
Ooh,
paid
so we
for
got
it.
truly.
So what are we thinking here, kiddies? What do you
truly
think?
think if this was much more than $25, I would be grossly disappointed.
So is that your guess, $25?
No, I think it's $25. Well, yes, it's a guess. Of course,
Is $25 you guess? No, I think it's 25.
I'm gonna guess.
I'm
but
so
of
glad.
course it's a guess.
I'm
I'm
so
not an
glad.
encyclopedia of like what every single bottle costs.
I'm clarifying whether it's
Should-
25 or less than 25.
I'm saying exactly $25.
Okay.
I'm gonna go
Mr. Lynch.
27.99.
$27.99.
He's
You're
wrong.
going higher.
Yeah.
He's stupid.
Wow.
Hopefully he's going to say it's
Because-
1999.
The correct number was $21.99. So $22.
The double deuce.
I'm telling you, it's
I
like
think I overpaid.
So
I think that's expensive.
I
What's,
think
this
I
is still
overpaid.
better than I almost said Elijah Craig. What's the
No, Zachariah Harris.
Zachariah?
Zachariah Harris.
No,
I
no.
know it was a name.
So and here's the thing, and here I will keep to what I said before. It's like when I looked at the bottle, when I smelt it initially, I did not have high hopes for this, and it didn't taste as bad as I was expecting
I
it
think
to
that was
taste.
part of it. The bottle looks like it's going to taste
Oh
like shit.
fuck yeah!
Yeah.
It's like whoever's in their marketing department needs to be goddamn
Yep.
fired.
Yeah, I don't think they have market. I think the farmer who farms the corn
I was
said,
gonna
"Hey,
say.
this looks good."
They
Yeah,
took a
I
they
had
took a
Photoshop.
picture of a barrel that knocked over some corn
It's
stalks.
clip
and then
art.
Yeah,
grew it-
yeah.
grew it
What
up.
was it was like front page, not front page,
Right.
but like
What is that? Yeah, like front page. What is the other one?
yeah, when it was like it came free,
Let me see
like
that.
almost like MS Publisher.
Right.
It was just
Right.
like it was all
MS
the
Paint.
MS,
That
it
was
was
it,
all the
MS
free
Paint.
clip art that
You know what
came
we
with
should
it.
do? This would be a fun little thing that we could do. What if we rebranded some bottles? And
Oh,
then
that
we
could be
and then
good.
we tried it and just been like, what do we think it is, or what is that legit, or do we think
But
it's something
Interesting.
else?
technically, that was our brackets. We did that. In
No,
brackets.
I'm saying literally we draw up our own little.
We make it look like a better whiskey than it is,
Yeah.
and see if it makes it taste better.
Yes.
We come up with like a Pappy Van
And then-
Winkle
Right. And
label.
then, and
if
then
we
you
don't
guys
know.
try it again, and then you're like, "Wait a minute."
Wait a second.
But I'd have to put in a different bottle so it doesn't have a screw
Obviously,
cap
yeah.
Yes.
on it. Very bright yellow.
And get some like
fucking-
wax
That'd
and
be
like.
a fun little.
And
Then
dip
you'd
it.
be like, is it really? As you're scratching at it, you're like,
Well, that's the idea, right? Make the whole presentation better.
yeah.
And if we taste it and go like, "Hey, this is pretty good. What is this?" And everybody's going to feel stupid.
We're like
What?
Zachariah Harris. Like,
But
Well,
but,
we'd have
but
to
again,
rebrand that one.
but again, in reality, it's like this is almost like the very first episode that we ever had
Yeah.
of Skinamarink
ah,
and
that just put a bad taste on
the
it.
Serbian movie. Well, basically the whole FTP of episode was talking about like marketing. Like marketing is what creates popularity
Yes.
of a movie. Like
Yes.
to me, it is that same thing of look at how many celebrities have like tequilas and vodkas and all this kind of stuff, and so many of them are like nothing
See,
special.
I feel like they get
Right.
those celebrities get the shotgun approach, right? That's going to reach way more people, and they're going to get people that actually like it because most people will say, oh, well, not anymore, but like Diddy's got a vodka. Let me try. I'll try that just because Diddy did it.
Diddy did it.
He did it.
Did he do
did
it?
it.
Did he do it? But I mean, like I think they'll. If it gets people to try it, even if you buy one bottle and that's it, it's like $40-50. You're out $40-50, but you tried it because, of course, the first thing people are
Well-
going to say is, well, what, I want to get some vodka. Well, Diddy's got his. Let's grab some Ciroc or whatever. Is it his vodka?
I don't know his one.
Or is it
Ciroc is a
tequila?
vodka.
All I know is
But still, like that I think just we reaches a broader audience because it's a celebrity, right?
Totally.
So-
Absolutely.
And it's a little.
but that's I guess that is my point.
So
My
like
point
if
is
we
the
had
fact that
like what's a country?
did you
I was trying to say country.
some-
Like you stopped me.
some cunt
Some
cunt,
cunt
like-
fucking drinks it. No.
This
uh,
has gone
but
off
no, I'm
the
thinking like
rails.
if you had a country and western person, I don't know, maybe what's his name, Blake Shelton, was like, hey, I drink this on the daily. All of a sudden, this thing would be like super popular in high school and teenagers would be dumping it on their girlfriend's coochie and munching some box. I don't know.
That it's leaving an unsettling in my stomach.
Yeah, I got a little,
Yeah.
little quiver, if you will.
and one of us has to take this home.
And it doesn't have to be me.
You know what I think? I'm low on gas.
There you go. It's corn, so that might work.
Yeah, it's like when you see these cars that have like flex fuel.
Yeah.
Dump it in
I
there.
think that will work,
I
right?
think
Just
that
find one along
qualifies.
the road here. This probably work.
Throw it in there. There you go. It's a gift from me.
Oh,
There you
very
go.
cute.
You take that up.
And it's bottled in bond. I
Hey,
gotta
here you
take
go.
that.
If you want your kids to make sure your kids don't start drinking, let them find that and drink
Oh,
that.
yeah,
They will never
It's
drink
got
again.
You
got
can
like
have two cabinets, two liquor cabinets.
Yeah, the bad shit.
I
and the
like
good shit.
that.
it's got like when you have like the parent finds the kid smoking cigarettes and like he makes them like finish the entire packet.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, I never want to have cigarettes ever again.
Yeah.
It's like it'd be the same thing. It's like you just make the kid have this, you know.
See, that didn't work for me.
Exactly.
I did smoke a cigar down really far one time, and it actually made me almost throw up. But I was like, "Fuck!" It was that good. Wanted to get more. So, but then again, it was
I
also
was the same way with
older.
cocaine.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on.
Okay.
All right. So we also watched a movie at some point.
We
Right?
did.
We did.
Clown in a corn field.
Mellow Corn.
Cornfield.
Highly publicized.
Yeah, it was a
It had some
Shutter movie.
Good marketing to it.
Yep.
Some good marketing to it.
Directed by Eli Craig, which if I'd done my research, I would have been able to say what else he did, because I knew he did other things, right?
Yeah, let's check him out.
So, but I don't remember.
Eli Craig. Wow, does he look familiar?
Yeah, he does.
He did Little Evil, Tucker and Dale.
Oh, Tucker and Dale. That's the one. Yeah.
He did Tucker and Dale,
which is like
which
freaking
is
awesome.
magic.
It's
Yeah.
such a great movie. But yeah, so this has Katie Douglas in it, who is incredibly cute. And
She's the main character, right?
she's the main character, and like the rest of them are not really anyone's where anyone would really know. Aaron Adams, the dad, looks familiar. But
He was in
he's
another
been
movie that
things.
this guy did. I saw.
But oh shit, my printout cut it off. But the budget was like $1 million, and I think the revenue was like $20 million. I mean, in other words, it's a typical, it's that typical like A24 Blumhouse. In this case, Shudder is the company behind this kind of movie where it's like 20 times what it cost to make. It's like
Which is not easy. That's a good.
no,
feat.
I mean
That's a really good
it's
feat.
yeah. Anyway, we got to review it.
All right.
Rate
Yep.
it first.
Let's review it.
And I have.
Yeah,
We'll
I'm gonna go with that one.
We'll
I'm
talk
going single.
Ooh,
we'll talk about this.
I'm doubling it.
Definitely.
I'm going to.
All right.
1,
2.
3.
No, I just thought of. I don't think you clapped earlier.
He
I
didn't
didn't
clap on the
clap at
first
all.
one either.
Because
And we commented on the fact he didn't clap.
I
and
need-
then-
Well,
and
said we
then-
don't
and
need
then
the
we said
clap.
we don't need the clap anymore.
I'm going to clap again. I'll clap.
Because
We'll start
technically the
clapping.
clap is to synchronize sound with the video.
I know, and that's
Technically, we did it just to get it going. Technically, I was just going like,
We're falling
let's
apart
go.
here, guys.
We'll clap at the
It's
next
been a
one. We'll
while.
clap.
Anyway.
We'll clap.
All
Okay,
right.
what
How
did
much you love the clap.
Logan gave it a 3.
I gave it a 2.5.
I gave it a 3.5. So
Sure.
I was the high end and
You are.
Warwick was the low.
Yes.
So
What's your problem?
So I think my problem with it is it was so formulaic. It was
Well,
like,
Yeah.
but just it's like I just didn't see anything new. It was like the only part that was interesting and a little bit new is all the way up until the reveal. You think there's one clown,
Yeah. That was a good review.
Oh
That
yeah,
was a good
spoilers
review.
by the way.
you know. Yeah.
Oh,
If you don't know by now, you don't know me at all.
So he spoiled everything. So that was cool. That was a cool part. There were some interesting kills, but I just like I kind of it's that whole like new girl in town. Invariably it's the whole like Bambi thing. It's like the mother's dead and like the strained relationship between like the kid and the dad and it just to me it was like check
Okay.
and 2.5 was with all that I still found it enjoyable. Like I didn't think there was
It was a very well made movie.
Yes.
I thought it was shot well. I thought it was I thought the acting was great. I just didn't see anything that I haven't seen a bazillion times before.
Mr. Lynch, let me jump in on this one.
Go right ahead.
Jane, you ignorant slut. Uh, First of all, that was the point of this movie. They wanted to create a classic 80s horror movie in the current age for the younger generations who don't maybe watch the old classic 80s horror movies. They don't know this formula. They don't know what the deal is.
Yeah, but I do, and I'm rating it
and,
based on the fact that I do.
and the simple fact is, it worked. And not only was it, I mean, it wasn't even that much of a formula. They varied from it. It wasn't, they went the whole Scream route. It's not one killer, it's everybody. Everybody's
Again,
ghost
that
face.
was
We all
cool.
knew that. So that was a good twist on the whole thing, right? Everybody knew the mayor, spoilers, the mayor was going to be in on it, right?
Yes.
You knew that kind of coming up, but just because the character, the actor that was playing him, you're like, all right, well, he's a big actor, so he's going to be a bigger part.
And he's always the evil guy.
He's always the evil guy. But it had the relationship with the kids I thought was really good and dynamic and interesting. In other words, the new girl, yeah, but she wasn't like jumping in on the whole thing. They were still kind of reserved and
Yep.
teasing her a little bit. So
Yep.
it wasn't like she was accepted. And the guy that she liked turns out to be gay. So she's like, oh, so that's a twist. And he's like, all right. So
Yeah, he
with
was
the
all-
best friend. And that was, I thought it was interesting enough to just say, oh, she fucked up. And honestly, the daughter, that was, I'm thinking, dude, you just met this kid and you're jumping his bones. You're a slut.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought so too.
However,
And I think some of that is just the classic like teenager rebelling from the dad. and
exactly,
stuff like that.
exactly. But they're formulaic because it's true. I mean, that's kind of what happens, right?
Do we think this is just another way for what was it, Eli Craig to maybe get some more recognition? I mean, because he got
Well,
probably
he
a
had
decent amount
Tucker
of
and
recognition,
Dale. I
but he
mean,
got a decent amount.
Jesus.
But now that's how old is Tucker Dale? That's what,
I
10
get it.
years?
I get it.
Easy
So
10
What
years.
you done for
So-
me lately? I
So
get
to
it.
me, this might be like maybe this is the start of other things. I completely agree with both of you guys. I think that the formulaicness was a little annoying to me because I was like, ooh, I like the fact that it was one. Keep it as one, and even if you eventually show that it's multiples, don't
Yeah.
show it all at once. That was the only thing that bothered me.
Oh,
'Cause
but
as
that
soon,
was the fun part.
but as soon as they all
they
started
did-
walking out, I was like, well, that looks like Will Sasso. Like,
Oh yeah. And one of them stood with a sassy turn. It's like, all right, well, that's a woman.
yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right.
So,
But-
so
But they didn't reveal it all at once. There was parts of the movie where you're
oh,
like,
yeah.
wait
No,
a minute.
I liked it up
How
until
could
the big
Frendo be here when he was just over there?
Well,
So
and-
you kind of started thinking there might be more than
And
one.
I did think there was a subtle point with the pseudo boyfriend where it's like there were points where I'm like,
Cole. That's his name.
Cole, yes,
Cole
like,
Lynn is what he
is-
likes, but anyway.
where I'm like, is he Frendo? Like,
There
Oh,
were,
I thought the
yes,
same
yes,
thing.
yeah.
Oh, I was right there with you.
Yeah.
because
I
because
did
there,
think
there
that.
was
Until the Brokeback Mountain reveal, I was
Right.
like, I was kind of like, oh, maybe.
Right.
I'm like, that would be because
But-
he's not
but
there.
but
and
even
then-
even then that was his like anti-reaction to like everyone who not spurned him but like everyone who was mean to him or
Yeah.
or whatever like so I could totally see that but even that when I was at home I'm like, oh my god, like not this again.
Yeah, but even that, so like, even when she was trying to jump his bones and he rejected her, and by the way, he said something that made her freak out. I kept rewinding that
Yes.
and turning it so far up. It's like, what did he say?
Yeah.
I still have no
I
idea
think
what
all
he
he
said.
said was like, I don't think I can, or something like that. It
And I'm
was
like,
so
and she's
annoying. I
like,
was like,
oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm like,
I even tried to turn on the
wait.
subtitles. And like, I can't.
right, I
can't
couldn't.
hear.
But the point is, when he was, he's like, I'm sorry, and he jumps up there and he's like, I got so much shit going into my head right now.
Right,
And I'm
right.
like, oh, he's getting a little
And that,
psycho.
that was the whole
He's
thing.
getting a little
Yeah.
psycho.
I thought exactly the same thing and like he's the guy.
He's the guy.
He's the
I
guy.
thought the same thing. But so much for your formula. You didn't guess that, did you?
Until I did.
But it wasn't
I-
him. It
I kind of
wasn't
got, I kind of got the vibes of like the faculty.
Yes.
When Will Sasso and then a bunch of people gave them like the evil eye in the diner.
him.
That's when I started thinking, oh god, are they gonna end up being the bad guys? Like, and
Well-
that was part of me, but then I'm thinking, yeah, maybe not. No, they're gonna have it be some guy that was banned from the town years ago or something. But
So the other thing that I will always have a problem with um, movies that just always try and push forward the fact that um, everyone hates
Raymond. Oh,
yeah,
it's a
Clowns.
like everyone hates gay people, and everyone hates change, and therefore
Yeah, but
it's
this didn't do that, did it?
right. But the whole point of the dad,
Oh, small town.
right. In other words, it's like that was
Yeah, he's
literally
not my son.
that was the whole
Yeah,
point,
you're right.
was the
Good
fact
point.
that, like, obviously, the dad found out, or he told him, and he was instantly out of the
So,
family at that point.
in the father's defense, there, what he may have been thinking is, now my son is not going to be able to have an heir to the throne.
See,
You know what I mean? Like, because a lot of those
But but but,
old country folks
but gay
like that
people
would
adopt
probably be like,
all the time.
no, no, but I'm saying like they want legitimate bloodline, right? Like that's the old school thinking was like, no, I don't care, I don't want an Asian baby or I don't want a
Who
whatever
doesn't want
baby.
an Asian baby? They're
I
cute.
know, but I'm just saying
guys,
this is these guys from the down south where the corn is like,
I didn't get that he was rejecting his son because he was
Really?
gay.
That,
I
the
thought,
whole reveal in the barn, I thought that was the whole
I
he was about
thought,
to kill his son because
yes,
he thought he was
but because he was a ne'er-do-well, because he was one of the
ne'er-do-well.
low-lifes of the group,
What
or
was,
lowest of the
you
town,
might
which
want to
I thought,
explain ne'er-do-well.
Was he
How
like
that
uh,
1920s
I
over
know.
here?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What are you
sure.
saying there, Sonny? Jeez.
I thought he was rejecting his son because he was not living up to his standards.
Heterosexual. Oh,
No, I didn't get that. I didn't get that he was that, but I understand where you're coming from with it, but
that's
I
what Cole
didn't see
liked.
that. I saw it
To know where
because
he's coming from.
he was
But
running around with a bad crowd. But I saw when he was running around with a bad crowd,
but
like when
they
he threw the party and he stood up and gave the speech. He's clearly a leader.
yeah.
He clearly is in charge of this town, the
So do you
kids
think he's
anyway.
a top about him?
But also, like, the other problem that
I'm just wondering.
and I'm sure it was
He's a
there,
leader. He's got to be a top.
and I'm sure it was there just to kind of throw everything off.
Yeah.
But like the part where at the parade where Frendo's on the unicycle and fire and
Right.
brimstone and all that kind of stuff, and they get arrested and they go to jail.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they get released.
Yeah.
Like I figured that the whole reason they got released was because the dad stepped in. Like, why did they just get released? Like, if they hated them so much.
Because I think because they really
Let
had
him learn
nothing
it.
on them.
Yeah, it was more like let him learn a lesson.
They
here.
knew that they were on the sidelines. They knew that they didn't have anything directly to do with the fire. They knew one of their friends did, but they didn't get that guy. They only got
Could have
them
also
because
been
they're standing on the
because
sidelines. They had
Will
nothing.
Sasso's character did not. The sheriff did not let them out. It was some other person.
That's
Maybe that
true,
was
it was.
giving them enough time to go set up and get ready because they
Well,
knew that he was going to have that
Again,
bash.
there's the other possible reason is because they needed them released so they could kill them.
But also
Because they
tucked
needed
away
them
somewhere
But
so
they
they
could have
could.
killed him in jail.
No, that's not fun.
Yeah. No, that honestly seemed like what their intention was. Is we want to have fun with this. And,
Yeah. Because they all dressed up like fun.
yeah.
Frendo.
Friendo.
Which did they not promote the shit out of that in the trailers, if I remember
The
correctly?
Friendo? Yeah,
He
don't
says
fuck with
Friendo
Friendo.
once.
No,
Or twice,
they
twice.
said
no,
it
The
one
the
time.
guy in the cell said it once, and then the guy goes, "Oh, Frendo," and gets
And the
shot
little
here.
girl said it too. The main character, she
Yes.
said it a couple times.
And because there's a part where they talk about the history of the town
Yeah.
and stuff,
Yeah.
and it comes up there.
But it was. I
But
felt like it was more crammed down your throat in the trailers. That it was like Frendo.
A side note, completely
Rearendo?
side note. Speaking of the girl, the main character, the little daughter that she's like 5 foot nothing.
Yes.
She looks just like a Disney princess. She's got a small face in front and big eyes, but tiny
I
nose,
thought
tiny
she was
mouth.
under 5 foot. I had to
She
look
could
it up.
absolutely
She's
be under
exactly
5 foot.
5 foot according to the internet.
you mean Katie Douglas?
Yes.
Do you
But
know?
what made me think it was when
Yeah.
they were in the jail cell and she's sitting across. I'm like, why does she look like she's very, very short? Like if you go back and watch that scene, you're like,
She
oh,
is
like most people would be
so tiny.
like this long. She felt like that. Like
She
it was very interesting to me. I was like,
she
oh my
is
god, maybe she's like
super
4'10"
tiny.
or something.
Yeah, I mean, she definitely looks like someone that's been in
She's cute. I think she did
Disney.
She's
the acting.
adorable.
I think the acting was great. in
I
this,
thought she,
to be
like
honest.
she was my favorite thing in the whole movie.
I
I
totally
don't
agree.
mean that in
My-
a sick and
But
twisted
look
way.
at
Yeah.
look at
My
like the
kill- my-
tiny little mouth and nose and
The-
stuff. She looks like a Disney character.
My one big gripe about it though was the kill with the bodybuilder guy.
Oh,
Yes.
with the
That,
saw. And the
yeah, like
weightlifting.
why didn't they? Why, if he would have used a meat cleaver, that would have been more believable.
Well,
I'm like, he's using like a drywall saw there's no way that's going to cut through him in
Right,
one
right,
push.
right, right.
Like,
Right, and it was,
I almost would have preferred he went like this. The guy's
And-
still resisting, and then he did this.
And
Right.
you
but,
saw the saw was flimsy and wobbling the whole
right,
time.
and also there's a little bit of like physics there. It's like,
Yeah.
why when he flipped down, even if he could just
Yeah,
cut
why
straight
wouldn't you
through
just
it,
go like this and
why
then
would the
cut your
head,
nipples or
why
something?
would the head like flip over into the ice
Yeah.
chest? I know that obviously that was just
For dramatic effect.
yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I
I think we found his kink.
I think she was
No,
she
I'm
was the
trying
best.
to
She was
find
the
a
best
picture
thing.
of her in a group setting.
Oh, go back.
Did I miss it?
No. Go back. That one there. She was.
Yeah.
That was what she was in. She was
Yeah.
in the future, the one where she's in the future with the Oh my God, it's like I sound like someone trying to pick
The
a
Lost
movie.
Ones.
Yes. Yeah, I totally remember that one.
But there was one shot. There's another one.
Yeah.
The Lost Ones. But there was another shot of her.
See, look
Well,
how
that's
short
kind
she
of
is
it.
there compared to-
But there was one that was a group shot. Well, that's a good one too. Oops. Where she looks. We should
Yeah, I
probably
was
pull it
gonna
up
say,
so
they
can
have
see
no
we're
idea
looking
what
at
we're
here.
talking about right now.
So this is the shot for the movie. You can
Look
see how tiny she is, but not
But
really.
and she's got boots on, so she's probably
she
got an
does
extra
have
inch or
boots
two
on.
there.
There was one shot I saw of her. This one. Look at how freaking
Wow.
tiny she is.
my God. And she's got boots on again.
And she's
Well,
got
who's the
boots
guy
on.
on the right of her? Well,
Oh, you getting
the
turned on,
left
are
of her.
you?
I was gonna say,
Yeah, that's a
Turned
nice
on?
top.
You getting excited?
it's a nice top.
I could sport a top like
You
that.
could. Lots of holes. But look at, she's got boots on. You could tell because her legs are straight. But that is a tiny person.
Anyway,
Any guesses on how old she is?
I'm going to say 22.
26.
28. She's
Wow.
practically freaking 30, and she looks like she's 12.
Well, then it's not creepy that I think she's cute.
No, it's legal. If she was 18, it was borderline creepy. But since she's almost 30,
It's like, no, that's just a taste. It's taste.
It's okay. My wife doesn't listen to any.
she's
Anyway.
absolutely adorable. She made this a little bit better, easier to watch.
Unbelievable.
I
think-
agree.
I think the rest of the characters in it, I still think they were enjoyable. They were believable. They were not super annoying. Maybe the one friend was annoying.
The blonde chick and
Yeah, they were
the
annoying.
two, because there was that one scene where she
Had the head.
well yes, but the scene right before she went in with the gay boyfriend, and then ultimately came out and said, well, you could have told me, where she punches the
blonde chick?
the blonde chick,
Yeah.
and then something happens and then instantly the blonde chick's fine with her.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm sorry, you just punched her.
Well,
She
being
saved
murdered
her.
by
She
clowns.
saved her. See, what made that happen was she saved her by putting up the trash can, and then she said thank you. And then it was
Yeah,
so.
that's right, because she
So,
saved her from the bow. or from
The other
arrow.
gripe I had was Cole went from being, maybe he could be gay to full-on flaming by the end of it. It was like, come on, like you could have kept him at the same.
But they had to do that to be a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
And he
you
was- I
might
don't
as well
know,
turn
full
around and
flame.
grab Rusty's junk
I
at,
don't know if he
at
was
the
full
end.
flaming. Rusty was a great. I thought he was a good character. He was a
He was
great
good.
actor.
I just made me wonder what he did with that deer.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Think about it.
He was a bit horny.
Yeah, he's carrying it out in the middle of the night. Oh, I lost track of it. I'll tell you what.
Sling blade. Sling blade.
It's not stinky yet.
I like fried potatoes.
It's good times.
Ultimately, I still think it was enjoyable. The only I do have this question for you guys. What do you think about this? Because the first thing when I saw the promos for it, I thought, oh fuck, another clown movie. What did you guys think of that?
I liked him. I liked Frendo. It was creepy. He
Well,
was
what did you
kind of
think about
scary.
the concept that it's another clown? I mean,
I-
Art the Clown
'cause
now has
clown-
mastered the clown industry.
But
There's
there's
tons
still
of clown
There-
horror
I
movies.
think there is enough room for multiple creepy clowns.
Yes.
I think the thing that they did do, slightly against what I said at the beginning, the thing that they did do that was a little bit unique was the clown in the cornfield part. Like,
Yeah.
have we had a movie where clowns are in a cornfield?
Well, there was that one movie where they were popping up out of nowhere, and they actually did that
As an
in
angels the
real
outfield?
time, and it was a big thing.
Oh yeah, you're talking about the sightings.
The sightings where
Yeah.
they saw clowns in cornfields
Oh.
and stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought originally when this came up, I thought that's what it was about
Oh,
at
okay.
first. I thought it had to do with the sightings of clowns across rural America.
So the one thing I didn't get like related to the same thing is I didn't see the correlation of small town America, cornfields, and clowns. Like, what was did they explain?
Well, they tied it in because of the factory.
It was just a promotion.
this
Like
one.
that was like the
No, that was the mascot for the
Right,
corn
right.
syrup.
okay.
The corn syrup company,
Was Frendo was the mascot.
Frendo was the mascot for the corn syrup.
And then the whole thing happened with the thing burnt down, and they had to like
Which is
fire a whole
why
bunch of
I
people.
thought the dad didn't want the son around because he still blamed the son. He thought the son was responsible for the
But
fire.
he couldn't
Well-
possibly have thought that because it was revealed at the end that the dad set the fire for the insurance.
Yeah.
So the dad didn't think that
Yeah,
he
you're
he
right,
burnt
you're
things.
right, all
Like,
right.
Am
yeah,
I wrong? Did the dad not look like Elon Musk?
well, yeah, but that guy does look like.
I think that's right because that's a kind of a popular actor. So,
Yes,
yeah.
he's been in lots
Yeah.
of.
Fuck it.
Get out of here.
Nobody
with
else
this
mentioned it. I thought
Elon
I'd be
Musk
nice about that.
bullshit.
Yeah. Okay.
Ultimately, still worth the watch.
I would say
Absolutely
watch it.
worth the
I think it
watch.
was. It's about an hour and was it 36 minutes?
Hour and a half, yeah, sure.
It's all right.
Something like that.
Hour and 36 minutes. Did you
Holy
just?
shit! I
Did you just look
I
on
did
here and
not.
say
I
that?
can't even read that. Where's it at? Oh,
An hour
okay.
and 36
Holy
minutes.
shit!
Yeah, I mean, again, my 2.5.
Okay, here's my. Well, no, I'll do that later.
Well, but so my 2.5 was still based in fact I thought it was an enjoyable movie to watch.
Yeah,
I just thought
I
it
agree.
was just very formulaic, and again there was very few things that I thought that's cool. So now you say your thing.
No, I just was gonna say like I think there's no
So now you go.
there's no need for a sequel. But I think
don't-
this might be the start of Eli Craig maybe making like a comeback, and he's gonna start doing some bigger and better
I
things.
hope
maybe.
so. I like this stuff. I
The
love.
comedy in it was funny,
Yeah, absolutely.
you know, and it wasn't so bad. Like, okay, well, you wouldn't say it there, right? Like, you know, there was parts where you're like, oh yeah, that kind of makes sense. Like, you know, but I thought I still thought it was enjoyable. Like, I did not at any point go, "Oh, God, I gotta, you know, I realized it was a little formulaic, but I also was like, okay, well, let's have fun with it. And,
Yeah.
you know, it entertained me. So I would definitely I would say I would recommend seeing it.
I think it had the right feeling, the right mood. It played like a good old-fashioned '80s horror movie throughout. It had good jokes. It had good comedy, good surprises, and even when the clowns were coming out and getting their hands shot off or getting shot, even that was like, oh, it was hilarious. I mean,
That was funny.
I definitely think that Craig's got the comedy thing down pat for his horror
Yes.
movies, and that's what every horror movie needs: boobs, blood, comedy, and
There was
gore.
no boobs.
There was no boobs.
No.
Wait,
Get working on it, Craig.
No.
No, there weren't.
no,
There were none.
close,
There weren't.
close in the beginning when she takes her top off, but she's wearing a bra, but she didn't have very big memories.
Yeah, well, she's also 5 foot.
Not her, no,
Five
it wasn't
foot
her. It was
nothing,
the
wasn't her.
1991.
Yeah.
But still, I thought it was a good movie. Maybe not the best movie in the whole world, but you know what? It doesn't need to be. It's a
No.
good clown, old-fashioned clown,
And he's
small
not clowning
town,
around.
barn parties, cornfields, everything Halloween's all about. Go
Everything.
watch it.
Everything.
All right,
Are we done?
we are
think that's
done.
it.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
I'm gonna
Um,
press the outro.
Let's go this way.
Thank you for joining us.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Follow us on social media.
Are we gonna laugh again?
Oh shit!
What did you do?
What happened?
Went down the wrong pipe.
Okay, let's just continue. Ignore him.
Everyone for joining us. On another. Thank you everyone for joining us.
Like,
I would.
I mean,
Thank you everyone for joining us.
like, comment, and subscribe. Oh my God! we should have a mirror up there.
Right here.
Want to do like 5 million takes?
Yeah. Thank you everyone for joining us.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Be sure to follow us on social media.
Good about this one.
What's the matter with that? What's the matter
I
with
said
that one?
feeling good about this one.
What's wrong with that one?
Nothing was
Nothing.
wrong with it.
I don't know what the fuck you're doing for it.
I'm pointing to.
Pointing does nothing. This is a social
but you
media.
see it on different lines. and
yes,
so I'm like,
but do you
I'm
know where
pointing-
the lines actually are?
By the way, no one can see you because there's a big logo right here.
That's
I
the
know, they can
point.
hear me though.
No,
We
they
did that on
can't.
purpose.
I'm Logan Lynch.
We're
over
gonna,
here.
we're gonna
Nobody
cut,
listens.
cut that out.
Who the fuck is Logan Lynch? Who names
Best.
himself?
That sounds like a made-up name
Doesn't
to me.
it though? Amen.